Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and welcome to another episode of the Adronis Archive. And in this episode, I'm going to be bringing in Adronis, and Adronis is going to be talking about the third to fourth density membrane. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I'm Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning into this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. We will speak as it relates to the idea of the third to fourth density membrane. Now, we have termed this idea in the past from what can be termed as the rainbow bridge. That as we have stated, that between your third density Earth and your fourth density Earth, that a rainbow bridge exists in between. And that some of you are crossing this rainbow bridge at your own particular pace. But if we were to elaborate on a much more deeper level relating to the rainbow bridge, it would pertain to the idea of what you would know as a membrane. And this membrane really represents a transitional period that every single being on Earth is going through. And so, just as around the time of your 2011 and 2012, yes, December 21st, 2012, that the splintering of consciousness took place, the inversion of reality took place, and basically splintering yourselves off into your own reality. You are going further and further into your own state of momentum based upon your beliefs, your mentalities, your characteristics, your behaviors, your energetics, and that will continue to create a much greater degree of accelerated momentum as you now enter the main membrane, or again, the rainbow bridge from third density to fourth density. So between now and within the next 100 years, approximately, this will be a full transition to moving yourself from third density to fourth density. As we have termed in the past that it would be closer to around the time of 50 to 100 years, but we deem it much more appropriate because you are in the membrane right now, that between now and the next 100 years would indeed be much more appropriate relating to this transition. Now, some of you will transition quite quickly, some of you may take a little bit more time, but going through this membrane is helping you to accelerate your own path based upon the energetics, the mentality, the beliefs that you have upon yourself, and every particular form of aspect that is within your validity will continue to accelerate. It's like one that is going through a tunnel, and this tunnel is configured based upon everything that you base reality upon. Everything that you feel through your beliefs, through your own mentalities of how you feel life is, how you see yourself, how you see others, how you see the earth, how you see these changes taking place upon the planet, you will continue to navigate and build greater momentum into that tunnel. The idea truly is that you are fastening your own reality together. You are shaping it. And that you are going through a transitional process that is taking place right now. And at some particular point, depending upon the person in question, you will reach a reality that therefore represents a complete and totally immersed, vivid, instantaneous aspect of dream-based reality. So very much like you enter the dream plane at night, this will, at some particular point through the membrane, become the totality of your reality. You will become an astral being. And so there will be those, yes, who will still succumb to the idea of this physical system, to the aspect of the physical archetypes, the superficial realities that they still favor, and they will experience something of that in a greater degree. And there will be those that will move more into higher levels of empowerment, that will work upon themselves, that will bring themselves into greater states of love, understanding, compassion, respect, forgiveness. And they will generate a reality in that particular effect as you go through this tunnel, as you go through this transition at this particular time. So this is what we have labeled in analogy as the rainbow bridge. Because again, as you start to cross the rainbow bridge, you're noticing that as you move deeper and deeper upon the rainbow bridge, everything around you starts to shift. Everything around you starts to change. And as we've talked about before, that when you're entering fourth density, a screen door is closing behind you. And what you are doing is you are witnessing, much in regards to the old paradigm world that you have decided to withdraw from. You will not be able to personally interact with that old paradigm world anymore because of the decisions that you have made that are granting you new paradigm reality to which will be your interaction. So for those, for example, who are still very much into the greed, the manipulation, wanting monetary wealth, wanting all of this aspect of controlling and manipulating people, etc., they will remain in that particular reality. And because it is very, very superficial, they will go further and further into a downward spiral because they are going in the opposite direction of their own authentic selves. And that will become their own reality. Not because anybody is enforcing it upon themselves, but that is what they deem as important through their own validity. And that will continue to be their reality. Whereas again, others that are moving through the membrane, through the rainbow bridge, who are bringing in love, empowerment, compassion, joy, following their authentic selves, will move more deeper into a much more vaster, a much more deeper reality altogether, leaving behind the old paradigm life. But because you're in transition through the membrane, you are going to witness all of these things happening in the third density sphere, in the old paradigm life. And you will not have any real particular effect on that because, again, you're looking at it like it was through glass, like it was in a crystal ball, like you are, again, locked in a screen door and you can't go beyond the screen. You're now just looking at everything that's taking place like a looking glass. And that is the idea about where you are splintering off. None of you are ever in an identical reality. You're all in your own preferred reality, which means everything that you see, smell, taste, touch, and hear that exists around you right now, there is not any other being within your reality that perceives it the exact same way that you do. You perceive everything that exists within your reality in your own unique way. It is never identical. So this is all part of the splintering off from what has happened around 2012, where you have all, in that sense, created these veins of exploration, these pathways, and that each of you, upon your own pathways, leading to the rainbow bridge, leading to the momentum of energy passing through this membrane, will eventually wind up in fourth density. For those, again, that follow a path that is encouraging, loving, and working in helping to improve yourself, to do your inner work, to work with your inner disciplines, and therefore sharing compassion with others, that is the qualification to move into the next density. Whereas those, again, staying behind, will remain exactly where they are, but they will see greater depth perception of what they don't prefer, but they feel they have to experience it because that's what they validate. So what is being stated here is that it's like a magnifying glass. And you're going to go into deeper levels of magnification each and every single day that passes, each and every single moment that progresses here through your linear space-time reality. Will continue to grow deeper and deeper and deeper, and the magnification will increase and increase and increase and increase, and you'll have much more of a depth perception, leading you again past the membrane and into fourth density reality. Well, Adronis, what is this membrane? How could you best describe it visually? This is how we could best describe it visually. Here's third density reality. Here's fourth density reality. Two circles. Bringing them together and having them overlap. And eventually, what's going to happen is that these two circles will now completely overlay each other, which means that the window of opportunity through the membrane will shift to the particular degree where the window itself will no longer be available through this aspect of harvest. And so the harvest is the idea of the window of opportunity that is allowing yourselves to become reaped, that is allowing yourself to become collected through yourselves to move into this bypass that therefore, at this particular time, is created as a membrane. And again, as we stated, this membrane will last for a certain amount of time, and once these particular forms of circles overlap, you will go into the conclusion process of going through this membrane and entering appropriately into a fourth density reality. Now again, many of you ask, well, what is fourth density going to be like? What are we going to experience together in fourth density? Will we still be on an Earth? Yes. Will it still look like what it looks like? Yes. Will there still be people on the planet? Yes. Will it be very much like the dream plane? Yes. Will we be able to interact with apparition and other dimensional beings? Yes. You will also be very aware of other realities. That's what is going to happen. Just like in your own dream plane, where you can shift from dream to dream to dream to dream to dream, through your sleep cycle, you're able to do the exact same thing in a fourth density physical reality. It's the idea that you are, in a way, going sideways through dimensions. So you are being aware of how other dimensions correlate together with your own. So you are shifting into different dimensions, different probable realities, to actually connect with other versions of yourselves. And again, this can be connecting with other beings that you did not even believe existed before. That's what fourth density is going to bring you. Yes, you're still going to have challenges. Yes, you're still going to have assignments. Yes, you're still going to have tasks to perform. You're still going to work on bettering yourselves, on improving yourselves in that particular way. So there will still be some similarities to what you experienced in third density that will still happen in fourth density as it pertains to tasks, to permissions, to the idea of acceptances, of how you wish to govern your reality. That will still happen. But you're going to notice a greater depth perception of reality, similar to your own dream plane, because you will start to exist in the dream plane. You will exist in astral-based dimension. You're moving from the physical to the astral. And in the astral, this is where everything becomes a lot lighter, becomes a lot more lucid. So that is what is, in a nutshell, taking place. So the membrane is the vesica piscis. It is the gap in between two overlaying densities that at some particular point between now and within the next century will again completely overlay each other, and one will not be aware of the other. Or as we will term, fourth density in that sense will basically be a step above the ladder, but you will not concern yourself about moving so much into third density affairs. It will be like a fog that starts to dissipate away, and you'll no longer wish to interact with it, because now your fourth density reality is now acclaimed through your perception. And the third density reality will not be aware of the fourth density life. So therefore, those that shift into fourth density and those that remain in third density folks, as we'll say, will not be aware of the fourth density folks. The fourth density folks can be made aware of the third density folks if they wish, but again, it's not really going to be too much of a focus. You're going to be focusing more so on fourth density reality. Third density reality will be too dense for you to interact with. And so through certain levels of interaction, it can really only happen through empathic, telepathic, internal communication, such as what we are doing right now through this conduit for those that become very much aligned in regards to that psychic, empathic transmission quality. So again, this is just giving you a little bit of an overview as it pertains to what you're going through right now. passing through the membrane, walking across the rainbow bridge, and therefore realizing that your reality is going to continue to expand and go deeper and magnify and amplify itself on a greater degree, based upon how you are mentally developing yourself along the way. So this is where we say that as you have a window that's doing this, it is wise to get yourself together, doing your inner work, following your own states of inner disciplines that help you to authentically understand who you are by following something that you know is true to your heart, by following yourself that is true to your heart, by following everything that your heart is telling you. This is me. I'm not going to be in conflict. I'm not going to feel like I have to obey a system, a superficial reality that has nothing to do with me. I'm letting go of the heavy emotional toxicity that's causing me to be completely strained within this reality now. I am no longer weighing myself down by the emotional weight. I'm feeling lighter. And so you are preparing the body, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body to become much lighter. And you get much lighter by working together with your traumas, by working together with the karmic imprints that are still contained within yourself that are ready to be remedied. Because the fourth density reality that many of you are going to be collectively moving into is not compatible with such heavy emotional weight. You're being weighed down. It's like trying to swim to the surface while you have lead pants on. You're not going to be able to make it onto the surface. You're not going to reach the top of the water. You're not going to be able to take a breath. You have to take the lead pants off. You have to take off all of the weight, and then you are able to float yourself to the surface of the water and take a breath. And now you can leave the water, and now you can ascend upwards. And now you become part of a much lighter reality. That's what fourth density entails. It is a heart-centered reality. It is for those that are very much contained, connected, and in alignment with their own heart. They're following their decisions rather than making random choices that have nothing to do with them. So as you make yourself lighter, you will become much more compatible in going through this membrane and going much more deeper through the tunnel, through the rainbow bridge, whichever you wish to turn, into fourth density reality, which will therefore be your density based upon everything magnetically, coherently, vibrationally, in alignment to yourself, to what you therefore deem appropriate to where you feel. This is what reality itself represents.